Well, hello and welcome all the Web3 enthusiasts. It's Max speaking, and we continue the series of interview at Talking Digital with Synopsis. Today, I'm excited to host an interview with Michael Wagner from the Star Atlas game. And today we're gonna speak actually mostly about the GameFi segment, which is extremely interesting for you guys, as I know. So before we begin, our traditional and one of the most important questions to Michael is, Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Max. It's good to be here on the show and looking forward to the conversation about GameFi, about Star Atlas, and the future of digital universes.
Yeah, sounds great. And I think you have a lot of insights for us. So let's not waste time and get our interview going. So to begin with, let's start with a general question about the Star Atlas. And it's how do you actually define Star Atlas? Is it a general blending online game, a metaverse experience, or even something bigger?
I like to think it's bigger. I mean, I think what we're creating here is really the future of the immersive internet, which is probably just one of the definitions that you could use for the metaverse. Now, in the case of Star Atlas, we evolve into that concept of the metaverse through our gaming experience. So very much gaming forward focus on what we release. And we're doing that with a grand strategy space exploration MMO that's built in Unreal Engine 5 and living on the Solana blockchain. We are going for the highest levels of quality of game development. So that's the so-called AAA standard of development. And what we're building is this highly immersive, cinematic quality digital universe that people can exist within and thrive within.
Sounds really yummy. And the immersive internet is also something like what we've been waiting for a long time. Okay, next question is why did you choose to build on Solana?
Yeah, and just to go back to your previous comment, the immersive internet again is, I think, all of the things that we do online today, from search to, AI obviously is very much rising in popularity, but also things like online shopping, social experiences, social networks, all of those same experiences are going to exist in 3D format, in my opinion, in the future. You won't necessarily have a Facebook page, you'll have an apartment or a condo or a player habitat on the Star Atlas Central Space Station and be able to invite your friends over to post messages and bulletins and hang out with you socially in these digital worlds. But in terms of selecting Solana, we were very early adopters of Solana. We had started conceptualizing the idea of Star Atlas in mid 2020. And during that process, we were analyzing various blockchains that we would want to deploy on. Solana caught our attention primarily because of the technology. So scalability, low cost, high transaction throughput, low latency. These are all underlying fundamental requirements to build and release a real-time gameplay experience that also has on-chain gaming logic, where it's not just the game engine like an Unreal Engine that is defining how you play and how you interact, but actual blockchain programs that you interact with that largely can control economic centers of the game, things like mining and crafting, extraction, even movement and coordinates in our case are on-chain actions that players are taking. And so you need a technology that moves very quickly. So the player has that same low latency experience that they're accustomed to with any mainstream game that you would play. Outside of that, we did see a lot of potential in the growth of the developer ecosystem within Solana. So it was gaining popularity and excuse me, and they were quite successful at recruiting new developers to build out tools, DeFi applications, and other products and services on the chain. Now, a big part of our philosophy at ATMTA, the studio behind Star Atlas, is this idea of composability. And so our goal is to develop a platform that allows for the co-creation and co-development of Star Atlas through time. We think it's one of the largest benefits of integrating blockchain into a gaming product. And so having a robust developer ecosystem where there's a lot of innovation taking place means that there will be people around the world that want to build out applications and services specifically for the Star Atlas ecosystem as well. So in many ways, you can think about Star Atlas as being similar to a layer 1 protocol like Solana or like Ethereum. Now we're leveraging the blockchain tech, but people are able to build within our tech stack, again, products and services that service the Star Atlas community and ecosystem.
Okay, get it. Thank you. Pretty much details. For the next question, it's actually arising from the current trends, and many people, when it comes to Web3 and GameFi nowadays, first of all, started to think about the Telegram mini apps, and actually this the answer for the next question seems pretty evident, because talking about Star Atlas, we are talking about immersion, we are talking about AAA standards, but still I have to ask, is there any competition between Star Atlas and Telegram mini apps, tap to earn apps, actually, any competition for the audience? Because for them, there are hundreds of millions of users and it's pretty much time consuming, or your worlds are not in touch at all?
I think there's probably a connection point between some of those mini games that are being deployed on Telegram, in that we could create the same type of mini game experiences associated with Star Atlas and make those available to users. I certainly wouldn't describe the mini games on Telegram as being competitive with the world of Star Atlas or the universe of Star Atlas, though. I mean, we are building a highly complex, massively multiplayer online game, one that is intended to engage the user long term. We're thinking about development cycles that last decades and a gaming product that can last maybe a century. You know, like really trying to radically transform the paradigm of what it means to play and engage in a game. And we just have so many layers of complexity in how you can engage with the Star Atlas universe. So the general concept here is simple to play or simple to engage, difficult to master. We want players to be able to get in and have an immediately good time, but through the dedication of time spent in game, they're really able to master specific disciplines and career paths within the game. So you won't get that with a very simple mini game, you know, on mobile or in Telegram, for example.
Okay, get it. Thank you. So yeah, as I said, pretty evident, but with some details. Okay, let's move on. The next question is Atlas staking available now, and what is the APY?
We do have two tokens in our ecosystem. So we have Atlas, which is the in-game currency. This is the medium of exchange throughout the universe.
Yeah.
It's also the incentive mechanism for the early stages of play to earn. I would note here that over a long enough time horizon, the objective with our economy is not necessarily to provide incentives through inflation, but rather to create a robust producer and consumer economy and match those players up with buyers of convenience or you know, purchasers of cosmetics, and that's the primary earnings mechanism. However, we have Atlas, that in-game currency. We also have Polis, which is our governance token. Both of those have staking or locking mechanisms on govern.staratlas.com. So you can lock the tokens. You're earning Polis in both cases. And then we have other ecosystem benefits. In the case of Polis, naturally, you have governance rights when you lock tokens. And with Atlas, you're earning discounts on the royalty fees on the marketplace. So there is additional utility and integration throughout our other product sets. But yes, staking or locking is available on that governed site. I don't know specifically what the APR, APY is. It's not really something that we get into. It's just subject to the amount of participation in those pools and the rate of emissions on both of the tokens. So I'm sure anyone out there can go take a look at the governed site and calculate their own APR if that's something they're interested in.
Okay, doing our own researches usually. Thank you. The next two questions will be about some announcements and probably teasers. So the first one is what new features and experiences will Star Atlas offer at full launch?
It's worth noting that we are currently live and playable on Epic Game Store. This is a gated experience right now. You do need a game access key. Now those are quite easy to get. I would just encourage anyone out there that's interested in playing Star Atlas to jump into our Discord, which is just discord.gg/Star Atlas. Ask someone in the community for a game access key, and we'll get that to you, and you can download the client and start playing immediately. Some of the features that we have up and coming this year is what I'll focus on. Now we do have quite a long development roadmap ahead of us. Games of this caliber typically take a decade or so to complete, and we're coming up on 4 years in our journey of development, so it is still relatively early stage in terms of the total feature set. But we have some exciting things happening this year. One of those is a product that we call Fleet Command. For anyone familiar with Star Atlas, you'll know our Sage, our Star Atlas Golden Era browser-based product. This is a 2D RTS with the fully live and thriving game economy, the play to earn, and also that fully on-chain gaming logic. Right now, it's in a 2D state living in browser. We're porting that into Unreal Engine. And so you'll have this RTS 4X gameplay available to you, again, with all of the same logic and mechanics that live in Sage today and the user base there, just now accessible through an Unreal Engine client. I'm personally really excited about that one. These mechanics ultimately turn into the logistics, transportation, mining, crafting, economic loops that will live inside the MMO in the future, just in a more concentrated version today. We are also releasing some enhancements to our third-person shooter gameplay modes. And we did a big test earlier this year that we called Surge, working with a partner on the infrastructure side. They're called Metagravity, and we had over 1,000 concurrent users in a single lobby, all playing a team-based third-person shooter gameplay mode. So we'll be bringing enhancements to that, including team deathmatch, smaller matches and smaller maps, capture the flag, VIP, gun game, all of these different modes. So if you're kind of that third-person shooter or first-person shooter enthusiast, this will be a good release for you.
Yeah,
and then finally we do have 2 other big updates, and one of those is our Oni Central Space Station. Oni is one of the 3 factions. This is the social hub and the commerce hub. It's the home base in any MMO or your hometown starting point. And through that, you'll also be able to engage in deep space exploration and start going on missions, completing missions and progressing your character, leveling up, and earning rewards for that.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of insights, and actually answered my next question, which was about your roadmap. If you have some more milestones for the actually upcoming year to add, please go ahead.
Well, the only other thing I would really add here is it's related to one of the new asset classes coming out in the game, and that's crew members. Now, just about anything that's visible in the game can be owned by players, and that's everything from mining claims to land claims with cosmetic habs, your ships, your components, your modules, your weapons. And what we're releasing in the very near future are crew members, which are really the base units of the game. So you'll need a certain amount of crew members to operate all of your fleets, all of your ships. They also act as crafting crew in Sage today. It's your PFP if you're into the PFP NFTs. And it's also a unit that you'll use in the Star Atlas Companion app, which is a fitness trainer. It's a move to earn application where if you're going on a walk, run, or bicycle ride, you're leveling up the character that you have or the avatar that you have loaded into the phone through the mobile application. So a lot going on, but we're excited about that release of Crew, and that's actually coming up pretty soon here.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to the news of Star Atlas to explore this emerging universe. And we're moving to the next question, and it's about your ideas on the future. And in your opinion, what will the GameFi industry look like in the upcoming 5 years? What will be essential for the game projects? Which features will be needed? Maybe it will migrate to mobile devices or to PCs, whatever you think.
I could probably speak to 3 or 4 core advances in technology. Now, 5 years maybe sounds like a lot of time. It's not really that much time if you're talking about, best in class game development. I do think we're going to see a proliferation of Web3 and crypto gaming. In the industry of gaming overall, we'll start to see some mainstream studios start to build leveraging this technology. The value proposition for the user is just so strong. And while we have a bit of an uphill battle in educating the mainstream consumer on why Web3 gaming is superior to a traditional gaming experience, I think through time we will start to see users gravitate to being able to own their assets and earn money from the time that they spend in game, and have these vibrant, flourishing, crypto-connected economies. So not only will we see mainstream studios move into the space, we'll see more and more gamers latch on to the concept of Web3 gaming. Otherwise, I'm really excited about the prospects of VR, AR, and how those experiences play out, both in the real world, and that could be through, say, our mobile application where it's almost like a Pokemon Go, where with AR glasses you can go experience something in the real world and maybe even complete a mission while you're on a run, for example. I also think that AI technology is going to transform the way that people interact with non-playable characters or NPCs in game, and we'll start to develop more meaningful relationships with game characters, as odd as that might sound. And then finally, just the idea of interoperability. So having game environments composable with one another so that you can transport yourself from one game world like Star Atlas directly into another game world that's created by some independent studio seamlessly through the game engine.
Well, that would be great. Actually, a bright future is awaiting us, and all the gamers should be happy. Like, we'll see what happens in this long and at the same time short period of time. Yeah, very encouraging and very promising. So from all the prepared questions for today, that's it. However, I feel that there is so much more to discuss, and I am looking forward to seeing you, Michael, in the new episodes of Synopsis. And before we finish, our traditional question to you as a Web3 expert, and it will be especially valuable for the newcomers in the Web3 who are trying their forces in GameFi actually also. What would be your advice for the newcomers? What to start with, how to make the most out of getting involved in the industry?
Well, I think the most important thing for anyone that's new to the space is really just to find a product or game that they're really interested in. There are some great games that are coming out now, so don't focus so much on the crypto side and things like how to get rich or how to trade crypto. I think we're in this interesting space where we're having an entertainment oriented product set be introduced to crypto for the first time. Now, I've been around in the space for about 11 years, and I've seen all of the trends and all of the hype around different things like ICOs, IEOs, DeFi, all these different products and services come out, but they're all financially oriented. Whereas now we're in a space where there is truly a reason to engage and interact with a blockchain product because you enjoy it, not because it's about getting rich. So what I would suggest is find that game that you really love, engage in that because you're enjoying yourself, and learn about crypto and wallets and security and all of that stuff through your fun experience. It'll just make it that much more enjoyable.
Finally, someone told about having fun and entertainment in this crazy world of Web3. It's a great advice, actually, and thank you very much for it. And thank you very much for joining us today, Michael. Looking forward, actually, again, to see you in the next episodes. Hopefully, you will join again.
Likewise, my pleasure, Max. We will see you again.
Perfect. And thank you guys for watching us till the end. Thumbs up to see Michael again, and stay tuned for more updates of Synopsis. Have a great day, night, whatever is in your region. See you. Bye-bye.